Hey, what's up my friends? I have a special episode for y'all today. We are doing another BFS Bait Finesse gear review. So I have the Kastking Zephyr. This is a reel that I have read countless reviews on. It's got extremely varying opinions in several fishing forums I follow. I wanted to purchase one. It was actually the most inexpensive casting reel I've ever bought in my life, so I figured I'd buy it, give it a shot, and let you guys know exactly what I thought about it, what kind of value I found on it, if it's even worth messing around with. I'm also using the Jackson Blast Beats rod. It's a 6'2" medium light. I have not yet got this rod out on the water, so I'm excited about trying that out as well. We're gonna get some good fish on. Hopefully the water clarity is really off, but I think we can get it done. I think I selected the right bait for this. Anyhow, following the fishing segment, I'll take y'all back to the place and let you know exactly what I thought about it. But for now, let's get some good fish on. Thanks for joining me today, guys. Alright guys, so I've tuned this in prior to shooting this video. I just tuned it in right now, and it was not easy. I did backlash several times, and my settings are extremely tight. Also, I've done several reviews on different BFS casting reels. I want to say this is probably the most challenging one I've had dialing it in. I set it really high to start out with, and I've gone even higher. So I am running 6-pound mono, which I like to test these on, with an 1/8 ounce weighted bait. So it's kind of my standard when I am trying out these BFS reels. So basically my spool tension's almost completely maxed out. It is like a clicking type deal, and I'm on like 5.5 for breaks. As you can see right there, 6 is the max. So I'm still having a little bit of slack line when I do cast these, somewhat. So I gotta say I'm not super duper impressed right now. However, it is a functionable reel. I'll also let you know right now, when I did unbox this, one of my handles, I brought it brand new from a reputable dealer of reels, and like I took it out of the bag, out of the box, and the bag was sealed and everything, and I did have a bent handle. I was able to bend that back into place. That's not giving me any issues right now, but quality control wise, that was a little disappointing, but it's nothing I can't work around. But let's get some fish on and put this reel to the test. Hopefully I don't have any issues now that it is somewhat dialed in. After I get several fish on, I'll try to ease up on the settings, and we'll see how far we can cast this. But yeah, oh dang. All right, gigantor skipjack in the water. Hold on, I'm about to get him. Come, don't eat me. I'm a helpless bait fish. Just wiggling around here. That thing was got him. Oh, come on up. Or is that, no, that is not that same fish. That is a beautiful largemouth. All right, let's get, oh no. Oh, I got her. Dear Lord, she almost escaped me. I literally just bear clawed her, that old girl. Probably at least a 2-pounder. Let's get her on the big camera, show y'all exactly what we're working with. All right, guys, check her out. Isn't she lovely? A beautiful largemouth, just smacking our Maribou jig. I thought a bit of mild flooding we're having was going to help out a lot. I mean, I guess it's not actual flooding, but it is extremely high for this river. So I thought this might be the case. I thought this might help us get some nice bass on, and it absolutely is so far. So we'll keep on going. The reel handled her a-okay. I had my drag set up well. Rod handled her really well too. Was not expecting her, couldn't see her. Our water clarity is just not as good as it usually was. I mean, she was probably just sitting like 3-4 feet in front of me when I smacked her. When she smacked that bait and I got her in, I couldn't see her at all. So surprise to me, glad to get her on, guys. We'll get her back in the water and keep going, see what else we can get on. It was a beautiful largemouth. Just gonna kind of shoot this right around this like tree line right here. The water is very high, so I'm thinking that might be a good place to start out. I love fishing these Maribou jigs. I'll tell you what, it is an art, I feel like, to fish them. You have to work them. to get a really good strike, and it's a lot of fun just kind of dialing into what these fish are looking for, movement wise. There's a bait that I love to fish. I just think it's a lot of fun trying to generate a strike, working it different ways. Oh, there we go, guys. Tiny yellow for sure. Sorry, buddy, kind of smacked you with that rod. Real tiny little yellow. Get you unhooked. Oh. You good? All right. All right, guys, we are getting some beautiful fish on, but I'm gonna jump spots. I'm gonna find another little pocket along the river and see if we can't keep making the magic happen, trying out this reel. Yeah, get a little change of scenery on. So I'll see y'all at the next spot. All right, so this is a nice little spot. This looks real nice and fishy to me. Oops. No, look at the size of those thorns. Holy cow. It is very hot and humid today. It's almost 80. Oh, all right, guys, we got a nice fish on. That's crazy. What in the heck? So, what is this? A giant drum? It feels like a rock. I literally just cast this in and went to mess around with my phone. I picked it up. Try to keep this down. I do have 6 pound on this. This fish feels really big. This feels like I don't know. It's definitely more than like 4 pounds. What are you? Okay, stay down. It's not jumping. I'm guessing drum. I haven't seen it yet. Yep, that's a drum. Judging by its fight. That's probably like 3 pounds. A Maribou jig, my friends. A bass eat them. Drum eat them. Yellows eat them. Get him. Yeah, real pretty one, silvery. Looks like this managed to keep the majority of its integrity too, so kudos to the old the hair jig. Yeah, that's a big one. It's got a little melanocytes on its forehead, that little dark spot. Pretty. I'll show it on the bigger camera. I mean, that's a good test of this reel. The drag held up. All right, guys, we've got a nice big old drum. Sorry if I do sound a bit coarse. I'm getting over a bad cold / fever type deal, but look at the size of this one. Man, I was messing around. I cast out there, picked up my phone, noticed I had a fish on, and it was just pulling me like a brick. It was like bringing a log in. But good looking fish. We'll get her back in. I mean, that my scale is out of batteries right now. I tried to use it earlier. This is a fat one though. This is a really nice fish. Got one. All right. We're just getting all the species today. Beautiful juvenile red-eye spotted bass. Been getting a good amount of these lately out on the river. So they are a lot of fun to catch. I'll tell you, man, no bass fights like a river bass. I mean, that one, of course, isn't going to be fighting that crazy. It's super tiny, but when you get a big old river bass on, man, whew. Hey, what's up guys? How are y'all doing? I hope pretty good. If I sound a little hoarse or congested, I am still sick. It's starting to get a lot better though. I had this weird fever cold thing. My son's 100% better. Thanks for all the good wishes on him, guys. I appreciate that. I'm actually making some stew right now, so that's gonna make us both feel really better. Love making homemade beef stew, man. All about it, with like nice fresh vegetables and that sort of thing. Anyhow, hope y'all enjoyed the fishing portion. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Pleasure to have you fishing with us. So the Kastking Zephyr. Whole point of this video is to shoot a review on this this reel right here. So I have several other BFS reels. I consider myself pretty well versed in BFS fishing in general. I'm really into it. I love bait finesse stuff. I love throwing light baits on casting gear. So I had read about the Kastking Zephyr on different fishing forums. I know Kastking in general has another more expensive BFS reel that I might try out. But this is a brand I've never messed with before, and no reason in particular why. Really, when it comes to reels in general, I buy Shimano for the most part, also Daiwa, Abu, and Lose occasionally. So it's kind of the brands I've always went in between, and I trust them. Never had any issues with them for the most part. So haven't had a reason to look elsewhere for fishing reels. But as I was explaining, I read a lot about this one, and it was extremely cheap. I mean, $70. That's the cheapest casting reel I've ever bought. If a casting reel is under $150, I won't even look at it, because I know it takes money to make a good reel, and naturally it's going to be more expensive. And for the most part with fishing gear, the more money you put into it, the better quality it's going to be. I'm out on the water so much that I like high quality stuff. It's just a pleasure to fish with. But anyhow, I went out, got it. As soon as I opened it up, I noticed one of my handles is bent. I was kind of upset about that. I managed to bend it back into place. It's totally fine. I'm not putting that on Kastking at all. Who knows how it happened. Stuff happens, it's whatever. It came with a nice little sticker. It's a 7.2:1 gear ratio reel. So I was running it with 6-pound monofilament and a 1/8 ounce Maribou jig by Bass Pro Shops. Great Maribou jig, by the way. I'll do another. Oh, you dreaming, Mars? He's dreaming, barking right now. Hey. Anyhow. So I run all my BFS reels with that 6-pound mono when I'm first trying them out. It's cheap. If I blow up a spool or something like that, I can just cut it out. I don't have to worry about it. Inexpensive line, and I figured I'd hold this to the same exact standard. Right away, I went to dial it in, start out with my settings pretty high. The settings work. It's 1 through 6, and it has like 4 notches in between each number. And I started out pretty high at about a 4.5, and my spool tension's also a clicking spool tension thing here as well. And my spool tension pretty high, and right away I was having like somewhat loose line. I could tell it was an issue. I cranked it up more, cranked it up more, cranked it up more, until I was almost maxed out on both. And then I finally got it to where I could safely cast without having to worry about some kind of massive backlash or something. And I still had to baby the heck out of the spool. I mean, if I wasn't really closely thumbing it, I was risking a lot of trouble. So I was not impressed with that, guys. Every time I tried to dial it in a little bit better, back off on my brakes, back off on my spool tension to get a little bit of more distance out of it, I run into issues right away with, not crazy backlashes, but loose line on my spool that I had to pull out. I spent more time doing that than I typically do with any other casting reel I've ever really used before. So I was not impressed. It was extremely difficult to dial in. It was difficult to use too. Like I was saying, you pretty much are babying that spool the entire time. I know it wasn't just me either. Like I said, I have several other BFS reels. I haven't had this issue with any of them. You know, most of the time I can get that setting perfectly and I can just whip casts out crazy far and not have to worry about a backlash whatsoever. So that was a bit challenging to use. So use-wise, I gotta say, not super impressed. Then again, it's a $70 reel. I'm not trying to rip it a new one. You know, obviously it's a budget BFS reel. It's not going to be the highest quality thing out there. It was aesthetically pleasing. I thought the black and the orange is pretty neat. Those are my high school colors. So I thought that was kind of cool. Cool name, Zephyr. Yeah, I mean, so all in all, the reel was, you know, the thing is that I see guys who are posting on this. I look at their profiles. A lot of them are kind of like newer to fishing in general. I'm like, dude, this is not how a BFS reel should be. It's not this challenging to use. Get yourself a Corrado, man. You're gonna be slinging baits crazy far. You're gonna have a blast. You're not gonna be worried about backlashing or pulling out loose line. It is what it is, though. Basically, all in all, guys, I gotta say, if you're brand new to BFS fishing and you're used to high-end gear, get yourself a Corrado or an Aldebaran or something like that, or one of the Alpha Airs or something like that. I do not recommend this. That's all I got to say about it. That's the most honest review I can give on it. I don't recommend. Sorry, Cast King, but maybe I got that one-off reel, or maybe it's an operator error. I don't think so, though, considering I do a lot of BFS fishing and have thrown several other BFS reels and haven't ran into these issues or had a challenging time operating them. I have 20-something casting reels, I want to say. Yeah, I have right now 28 rod reel combos, and I think majority of those are casting reels. I've never had this much difficulty operating a casting reel in my life. So anyhow, rod wise, this is the Jackson Blast Beats 6.2 medium light, and it is a very fast rod. It was so much fun. I mean, this is a cool looking rod too. It's black. It's got that glossy black. You can barely read Blast Beats. I didn't even know the serial number and whatnot was on, or the item number was on the back until I really looked at it. That 6.2 medium light type deal. Real clean, cool wrap. It gets into a silvery, almost checkered design with these silver accents running down it. It was a lot of fun to use. It's a quick, snappy medium light with enough backbone to bring in that 4-pound or whatever drum we had on. I was really impressed. It was a lot of fun. It wasn't too crazy expensive either. I got it from Bait Finesse Empire. If you guys are interested, the dude was really cool. He recommended this one to me. But anyhow, guys, I gotta say, all in all, good day fishing. Had a lot of fun. Got to try out a new reel and a new rod. Rod was pretty impressive. I liked it a lot. Reel, nothing to write home about, but I mean, it's a functional reel. If you guys want to get into BFS fishing, you don't want to put a lot of money into it. Maybe you don't have a lot of money at the moment to put into it. You just want to throw light baits on a casting reel. Go ahead, get you one. It's not going to be the easiest to use, but I'm sure if you take the time to dial it in even more than I did, put some time into it and maybe run slightly heavier line, like 8-pound, I think it would probably function a lot better. So maybe I'll do an episode where I run 8-pound fluoro on it and see how it works out. But I think the 6-pound was just a little too light for the reel in general. Anyhow, guys, I hope you all enjoyed the episode. Be good to yourselves, be good to each other, get some good fish on, and I'll see y'all next time. I'm just gonna work on making this stew right now, hanging out with Mars. I'm gonna wake my boy up, might go down to the park for a little bit. I'll catch y'all later.